Days after a student was shot inside of Wootton High School, the 16-year-old suspect makes an appearance before a judge. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Thuman.
And I'm Michelle Marsh. There have been several parent meetings since that shooting focused on what happened and school security. Parents
want to know how a gun got into the school in the first place. Justice officials are facing some criticism over a lack of school weapons detectors. Another concern for parents, why it took hours for many students to be released after the suspect was arrested.
Now, one thing we are learning tonight, how this scary situation all unfolded in a school hallway. Brad Bell joining us live now to explain what he learned in court today. Brad?
Yeah, so the suspect did appear in court via closed-circuit television. He was at the Montgomery County Detention Center. He was wearing green scrubs. Couldn't see him very well, but he looked like a 16-year-old kid. He did not have much to say. He answered the judge's question at one point, saying that he had gotten some paperwork and that he could hear the judge. And we learned really nothing more about a motive, except the defense attorney in this case said that this was something isolated between the suspect and the victim. During the brief hearing, 16-year-old Khalil White Villatoro's public defender asked that the accused Wootton High School shooter be moved to a juvenile detention center and suggested that the victim in the school shooting was the initial aggressor. But a prosecutor argued the teen is a danger to the community, saying he made the choice to bring a loaded gun into Wootton High School and first threaten the female student before shooting the 16-year-old victim. After the judge ordered White Villatoro remain locked up in the Montgomery County Detention Center, an attorney accompanying his mother said,
"Innocent until proven guilty. This has affected our community, but justice will be served and answers will be had. Thank you."
We learned in court that the 16-year-old victim in the shooting was hit in the center of his torso and faces multiple surgeries. State's Attorney John McCarthy said the investigation into the shooting and how the teen allegedly got a 9mm ghost gun into school continues. McCarthy also echoed the plea being made by many parents to return police officers to Montgomery County schools.
I think the presence of the police officer is a deterrent. Let me say that. The presence of a police officer in the school, I think, would act as a common sense additional deterrent to someone bringing a weapon to a school. I think that's just, to me, it's just common sense.
So what Montgomery County has now are community engagement officers, and they're assigned to clusters, so a high school as well as middle school. So they're not in the high schools all day, every day. Now, I've been in communication with the staff of Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich on this subject, and they defend the use of these CEOs, and they say that, you know, just because you think a school resource officer should be everywhere doesn't make it necessarily the right solution. They say it's something easy to point to, but certainly there will be discussions coming in the weeks ahead. Michelle?
Brad, the 16-year-old is a juvenile but currently charged as an adult. Is that likely to change?
Yeah, so we don't know, and that is a really good question on this thing. He is 16 years old. His lawyers said today that they have started the process to appeal to a judge to move him back to juvenile court. There will be hearings on this matter. Now, they did ask for him to be put in a juvenile lockup, and the judge said no, he's going to stay in the Montgomery County Detention Center, so it remains to be seen. But yes, his lawyers want him moved back to juvenile court, and because he's a juvenile, state's attorney would not mention his name. The police reported it, so we have as well, and we have not been able to see the charging documents that we normally get in cases like this because he is a juvenile. Back to you.